Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Frequent Vibrations, and today I wanted to talk about reoccurring dreams versus recurring dreams. There's a slight difference between the two, so what I'm actually going to do is break them down and go into more detail. Another way for me to describe a recurring dream would be, in the movies or the TV shows when someone is going through a scenario, they're going through a conflict and they're unable to do it the first time, and then they go back in time, or they wake up in the same spot. There was a movie with Tom Cruise where he was like in the military, or he wasn't, but he basically had to find his way, and Emily Blunt was in it, and then whenever he died, in a sense, he woke up back at the army base and he had to keep going through. That would be a perfect example of a recurring dream. And this is our way, or our subconscious mind's way of letting us know there is a conflict that we need to resolve. There's something going on that we're running away from, we're shying away from, and there's something we need to acknowledge, there's something we need to uncover, or there's something we need to just get through. And the thing with recurring dreams are they will most likely be scenario based. They definitely will have reoccurring people and recurring places, but at the same time, it's most likely going to be a scenario where those people or places will be involved, but you have to do something, you have to uncover something, there's going to be movement. Now, the difference with the reoccurring dream is you will have familiar places, you will have familiar people, but it may not necessarily be a scenario. You legit can be sitting down in a familiar place and just having a conversation with someone, or legit just sitting down and you see someone that you're familiar with, or you see a place but nothing is actually happening. Another scenario would be the nightmare scenario, having nightmares. Now, what my recurring dreams, when I did have nightmares, what they taught me was to take my power back, to show me that I have nothing to fear. And one thing that I actually appreciate from that experience was, in a dream, you can go through scenarios many times, multiple times, and figure out different ways, basically having different outcomes. Now, when it came to fears, if you're constantly going through an experience or you're going through something, after a while you're going to build up a tolerance. You're going to become what's that word for it? It's called desensitized. So after me becoming desensitized, after a while I started losing some of those fears that I had, and then as that was happening, I was becoming a more empowered person and a stronger person. So at the same time, yes, we're gonna have recurring dreams, which may seem regular to us, but at the same time, the nightmares are also there to really ask us, are we actually afraid of this? Does this actually scare me? Or is this something that my ego is telling me? For the people who are experiencing reoccurring and recurring dreams that are not nightmares, you most likely will be put in places or with people that actually make you feel comfortable. Now, you might be put in a place that is your place, that makes you feel the most at ease, the most relaxed, and then it would even be filled with people that are really close to you. They'll be best friends, they might be childhood friends, they could be family members, loved ones, even celebrities. Like, people may have dreams of celebrities, but they won't be thrown off because that might be their favorite celebrity. And I know for me personally, I do have my reoccurring dream places. You can say they're my safe houses in a sense, and upon me dreaming and even asking, am I actually here? The response that I got from my dream guides was no, but your subconscious mind is actually making it seem like you are here to make you feel comfortable, because if you were to see where you actually were, you may not be as comfortable. And that is something I appreciate. Recurring and reoccurring dreams are not always going to be our subconscious mind telling us or showing us things that we need to basically uncover or things we need to work through. But at the same time, it can also just be from our daily repetition. It's going to be our school, our work, our play. If you're a reader and you're constantly reading, if you're playing video games, if you watch TV, these are things that you do, and it's obviously being programmed into our subconscious mind, which when we're dreaming, it just does basically a playback. Call it a playback loop. So now it's going to be a little bit harder for some individuals to be aware that they are dreaming, because they're not going to know when they're sleeping and when they're awake. It's going to be hard for them to know or differentiate between the reality. However, for the people who are a little bit more aware, reoccurring dreams are amazing, because this is another, I'll say, dream recall. I'll say it's another reality check that can help you know that you're dreaming, and from there you can actually wake yourself up, or you can begin lucid dreaming. Alright, I hope this information helped. I hope you guys now know a little bit more information about why you may be having recurring dreams or recurring dreams, or even why you're seeing specific people all the time, or why you're in specific places all the time. And at the same time, if you're someone who definitely wants to take advantage of the reoccurring process that's happening to you, or you find yourself constantly not knowing when you're awake and when you're dreaming, because you're dreaming about the same things that happen when you're awake, you can definitely start tweaking what you're doing during the day just by a little bit. It doesn't have to be a drastic change, but even if you start by just thinking about your dreams, or thinking about being in more control of your dreams, that will definitely start tweaking the process and start getting you to a place that you want to be. So I want to thank you guys so much for taking in another episode of Frequent Vibrations, and happy dreaming.